Good morning and happy Wednesday. It is a little chilly out this morning, but it is definitely a great day to do a video. And today we're going to speak about 10 ways to prevent banking issues. So any of you that have had a situation where your bank account was abruptly closed, in the Wendy Williams situation, her assets were essentially seized, if we want to use that term. But there are ways to prevent not having access to your resources. And there are a few things we're going to talk about today. So grab your coffee, grab your tea and a muffin, pull up a chair, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's look at some ways you can prevent having issues with your bank. Well, one, it's always good to have a great relationship with your bank. That's always a great thing. This is a little bonus tip. Just having great relationships is really the best thing. But in terms of ways to prevent banking issues, you want to always have multiple bank accounts. You never want to just have your money in one bank account. And many people have as many as 7 bank accounts. So it's always a good idea to have your resources in different things, whether it's credit unions, banks, small regional banks are good as well, so that you don't have any challenges with one bank having sort of a monopoly and control over all your resources, because you never know when you're going to need it. So number one, multiple bank accounts, various banks, so no one bank is controlling your funds. Number two, place your money in a life insurance policy. No one is getting access to your life insurance policy. So number two, place your money in a life insurance policy, so when you need it, it's there. You simply request the money from the life insurance company and it is provided for you. If there's an issue or where they're thinking you're either incompetent or something's going on, it's still your money regardless. So even the situation with O.J. Simpson, and he was being sued in the civil court, and there were issues with his funds, and it is not affected. Life insurance is not affected. Your retirement funds are not affected. So put your money in a life insurance policy. It's very liquid. It's accessible. You could request it, and it's available to you. Nobody's getting that money. Number three, set up retirement accounts. Retirement accounts are critical in this situation because many times you can take out hardship funds, and you can take out hardship funds in the event something like this happens. You don't have access to your funds. You don't have access to your resources. So a retirement fund can be a good thing. It's not really designed to be used for hardship. They do allow it if your policy is set up for that, but it's typically not what you want to use. That's kind of your last resort. That's why I always put the life insurance before the retirement accounts, because if you do pull from the retirement accounts, you're not going to be able to add money to them until it's repaid. So use that as kind of a last resort, but that is something you can do. It's a place where you have access to funds. Nobody else is getting that money. So keep that in mind, but use it as a last resort, retirement accounts. Another really exciting thing, number 4, is placing your money in gold and silver. And believe it or not, there are a lot of buyers for gold and silver. And gold, I think last I checked, it was like worth almost $2,100. So you can take your resources, your cash, put it in gold and silver, and then you can cash it in if you need it. So gold and silver is a very nice way to have protection in the event you have any banking issues. So if you do not have access to your funds in a traditional bank, you can go and cash in your gold and silver, and it can be life-changing, especially if you have assets you want to acquire, like real estate or something. You can just go cash it out. There are buyers for that all around. Number 5, surround yourself with people who got your back, okay? Number 5, it is very important that you are with people and have friendships where if something happens, they're going to help you. I know Ken Honda, Happy Money, he talks about it all the time. I would rather have friends than money, because your friends can help you with the money. So the best thing you can do is surround yourself with people who, no matter what, they got your back. Number 6, raise your children to be loyal to you. It's funny. Some of the most dysfunctional families have children that are extremely loyal to them. It makes no sense. But the reality is, you want to raise your children in a way that they are loyal. So if something happens, they're not off partying with your funds, your resources that you've worked so hard to earn. They're actually helping make sure you're okay. You are almost their number one priority. So you want to raise the children in a way that they are loyal to you, and not loyal if you're doing something, ridiculous and bad, but the reality is you need them to be supportive of you. You've sacrificed your whole life, your sleep, to be with them and to take care of them. Number 7, be a great friend. There's nothing better than a rewarding and great friendship. By being a great friend, it actually allows you to have flexibility and it gives you help when you need it. So if for some reason you didn't have access to your funds, whatever's going on, I read something where somebody deposited $10,000 in the bank account and they were not able to access their funds for like 3 weeks. What if you need that money? Well, this is where your friends come in. Maybe your friend will lend it to you, somebody who trusts you. They've essentially got your back and they know you. So friendships are critical to preventing any sort of massive, not having access to your funds, banks seizing your resources, that sort of thing. So number 7 was be a great friend so that you have great friends. And number 8 is make and keep great friends. So not only do you want to be a great friend, but you want to maintain those relationships. There are some people that have been friends for 30, 40, 50 years. I've worked with people, they go to the same places, they travel together, they have been friends their whole life. And you want to be friends with people like that because they know you, they understand you, they probably have a better understanding what's happening, and they'd be more inclined to assist you with whatever situation you're having with your banking issue. Number 9, buy a business. Buy a business. I talk about this all the time to the single parents. Buying a franchise, buying something, buy a business, because that will definitely have a separate bank account and that should not be a challenge. So buy a business, a well-established business with a management team, with employees in place. That will give you some structure, some opportunity, and that will also give you maybe access to funds, to lines of credit. So when you have your resources, and I don't care if you're a high net worth individual and you're earning, $5 million, $40 million a year, when you take all that money and you put it into a bank account, it's going to be challenging. So, because the banks are lending on the money you're depositing. So buy a business, put money into a business, because that allows you a lot of avenues, a lot of resources, a lot of lending options, and a lot of different banking options. And last but not least is number 10, purchase assets such as real estate and classic cars. Some of those things in a pinch, in an emergency, can be liquid with investors. They're not going to give you probably what the value or what the property is worth, but they will give you a pretty good amount. If you're at a pinch and you just kind of need some money, and you can also borrow against the real estate as well, that can always be a good thing. Classic cars, many times you might get 10 times what it's worth or more. So, have your money in various places. Never just put your money in a bank and leave it there. You want to have multiple options. That way, any issues, you are not in a pinch. And you don't want to keep large sums of money, millions of dollars in one bank account, especially if they're only insured up to $500,000 and some only $250,000. So I hope that helped. Just a quick recap, 10 ways to prevent banking issues. Always bank with multiple banks. Place money in a life insurance policy. Set up retirement accounts. Place money in gold and silver. Surround yourself with people who got your back. Number 5, raise your children to be loyal to you. Number 7, be a great friend. Number 8, make and keep great friends once you've become one. Number 9, buy a business. And number 10, purchase assets such as real estate and classic cars. I hope that helped. And stay tuned for tomorrow. We've got a lot of great things to cover this week. So excited to be with you all. Have an amazing day. Sonia Gallion-Comunica, SoniaGallionComunica.com, and the author of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent, where we talk about all things single parents. See you tomorrow.